today then. So, Chris Mullins, you've been a friend of mine, a friend of us all for a long time. But I think everyone needs to know a bit about you and start off to talk about who you are, where you come from.
Hey, fellas. Firstly, thanks for getting me in on the debut show.
Debut
Yes,
guest.
that's a tricky one to say. But yeah, thank you for letting me share this with you. So that's a good thing. And yeah, I'm Chris Mullins. We've been friends as guys since I can remember. And yeah, I hope this goes. It's my debut of doing anything like this. Yeah. So I hope it goes well.
Well, it's our pleasure, mate. Absolutely our pleasure to have you on. I just want to get into sort of... Well, shall we talk about what we're going to talk about first, or...
Why are we doing this podcast, I think is...
yeah, that's a good starting point.
Why? Obviously, you've been through a huge experience, which is going to be the topic of today's talk, and helping people understand what it's like to go through something like that. Do you want to put it in your words, like...
yeah, for sure. I'll try my best. There isn't a clear answer with it all at the moment, and there probably never will, to be honest. But I was away with my family in California. On the way to Australia, we was emigrating there, but we got delayed with COVID, like the rest of the world. So we was stuck in California, not the end of the world. It was pretty cool. And I think we had 2 weeks to go until I was going to go to Australia. And then, I had a pain in the right side of my leg. And it was getting worse, not better. So a couple of weeks, like our blokes are, they just go, oh, my leg. And that's all you say.
Yeah, and just touching on that, what when you say pain, what kind of pain, just so we can sort of get some comparison.
At the start, it was just like when you've hurt your calf, at football.
Right, like a muscle strain.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. So you get a bit of a deep heat out.
Yeah.
And you get some of that on there.
Get the deep. Oh, he's got the deep heat out. See how you go.
And then after a week, you go, actually, this is getting worse. Mm. And then this pain was getting higher up my leg. But I was speaking with Laura about it. She said, "Oh, maybe I've got COVID." So I thought, "Oh, well, maybe I have then." That's that. But then, and I was kayaking in the sea, and I kept falling out of the kayak that I was in, and I was thinking that's not really like me, because I was out of breath. So I thought, oh, what's the deal? But I was, again, like any bloke would, you go,
I'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
So how long was all this going on for?
Probably about 2 weeks.
Wow.
But it wasn't something that I didn't think it was anything. I just thought I'd hurt my muscle.
You cracked on.
Yeah.
Cracked on.
And you do what everyone does. You go on Google, don't you?
Yeah.
And you go, oh, how is it? And you're like, oh, you sound. Yeah. Or you died, and then you go, oh, get rid of that one.
Yeah. Either way, you ignore it.
The more it happens, you ignore it. And I came the day after that, and I woke up, and I said to Izzy, I said, oh, B, I feel good today. And then out of nowhere, it all happened. And this was the 28th of February last year. And I had a embolism. I lose the words now.
Aneurysm?
Embolism, massive embolism. It will come back to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll tell you why soon. These clots basically came through my leg and then went to my lungs, filled up my lungs. Then travelled to my heart, so all my organs had stopped. My body died. I died basically. And they took me to the paramedics. Got there in rapid time. It
was quick, wasn't it?
2 minutes maybe, maybe 3.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was. So
It was a big factor, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, respect for them guys, obviously. I think the hospital trip from where my brother's is to the hospital is probably, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Whereabouts in California?
I was in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, so it's not nice.
Yeah, the best place to die for sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
That should be the tagline.
Yeah, that's a good little thumbnail. That
California, the best place to die.
In America.
Yeah,
America.
It was the best of a bad situation, really. But then they realised in that moment how severe things were. They had to pull me. I had 2 cardiac arrests. They had to pull over, obviously, in the ambulance and in the trolley bed, pull me out, and and I wasn't just like when people have a cardiac arrest, which is awful, and most people don't
Survive
that, and but there was 2 of them, and the embolism.
It's embolism. I checked it. It's embolism.
Yeah, there's 2
Yeah.
words for it, and I've forgot it now. But I in a place called Jacked Bagels was where it happened, and I was gone. There wasn't even a pulse. Like sometimes you've got a pulse, even if it's 1 beat per every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But I was gone, and they and me brought it back. And then it happened to me again, so that's twice. They had to pull over, and it happened. I don't remember the other time.
Did they tell you how long that you were dead for?
The first time was 2.5 minutes, give or take.
Jesus.
And the next time was 2. I don't know. 1 and something. I don't know the numbers now. But and obviously while this is all happening. Laura's there, my brother Liam was there. It's crazy time for them guys. I was in the clear because I was dead. So, but for them guys, it was a bad time. And
I think you was having a bad time.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how severe it went to because there was a priest at the bed saying.
So when you got to the hospital, they basically said to Lara and your brother,
"He's gone. Brown bread, incinerator." He's done.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realise that. I thought they revived you in the ambulance.
Yeah, they did in the ambulance, but then I died again when they pulled, they put something called a clot buster. That's probably not the scientific thing, but that's what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
And they pulled me in, and I've been obviously walked back to this place and seen where it happened, and there was like probably 30 doctors there. Because these people were like, "What has happened to this guy?"
Wow. Is that when you woke up?
No, I didn't. I didn't wake up then because then the doctors worked out why has this guy got this bad brain damage? Because obviously these clots had gone to my lungs, to my heart. Just bad luck or whatever you would call it. I had a hole in my heart from birth that I didn't know about, which. Over 30% of people have got, but
Mad fact.
These clots, they
is that an actual fact then?
That's a fact, yeah. And now there's a bit more science about it all. You can like from a bird's eye view, you can see it, and then they can see it because they just looked at my brain. Front and back instead of at the top, and then they seen, this guy has got a hole
Well, if
in
you
his
think
heart.
about it, your heart's 3D, obviously, and if you're looking from above, no one would look from above, would they?
Just some guy on Friday's going, that's sound.
Yeah, front and back, you know.
It was all right.
Just look at his watch.
Damn. And they went, and obviously I had a hole in my heart, so the clots travelled to my heart, and then I got went for the jackpot and then got brain damage because there was a blockage.
Why just have that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I forgot you got to have the hat trick, can't you? So
Chris, you don't do things by halves, mate. You never have done.
But that and that is a nutshell. That's kind of what went down.
What was so you've gone into the hospital. That's the bit that you obviously half remember had been told. So when you've been in the hospital, obviously there's a part in that hospital where they've been told horrible news, Laura, and that he's not going to make it. And then I got told a story of you fighting your way out of the. Obviously, I got told by a third party. So, what do you know about? So you fought your way off intensive care, didn't you? You fought your way out of that quickly, really, didn't you?
Yeah, but again, I can't give you that much clarity on it because that was what's it called, like subconscious.
Yeah.
I did that on instinct almost. Because like we all are, you survive when you got to survive.
So is that what you was feeling?
No, I didn't.
You got the
I'd be lying if I said to you, I did that. I didn't. I just my body did that, and it was my body fought back.
Yeah,
and my head. I knew that, but I don't remember doing that.
So obviously, there's something else that makes this story even more incredible. Well, there's a couple of things actually, but give us a sense of what was the doctor's response to you surviving this ordeal?
Oh, well, they told me one of these things that you have, you don't survive. So I had 2 cardiac arrests and the embolisms, then the brain damage. So they said at best, you're going to be in a vegetated state. Me. Or the other option, which they thought was happening, that I was coming back to Nottingham in a box. So that was obviously hard for Laura. Well, for my mum came over. You guys. I mean, you all lived it with me.
Yeah, but that puts it into perspective how incredible a story. Because, like you've just said, one of them things happen, and you're lucky if you come back in a
yeah, exactly,
on a life support machine, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas you've had both of them, and you're back this far, where your hand and eye coordination is getting there. Like you, basically, it's a bit of a miracle.
It's a miracle for sure.
It's the only way to put it.
Yeah, it is, and I've always thought things like that. I kind of win the lottery in reverse. I always have. So that's what that was. That was my.
You're the unlucky.
That was my 20 million in the bank.
With a bad luck, good luck story, you had so many of them. Like you, where the ambulance was, took you to, what was the hospital called?
It was called Cottage Hospital, yeah.
Which is where Prince Harry and Meghan had a baby.
Yeah.
So,
is that the same place?
Yeah.
Santa Barbara, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Actually, one of
That's
his
incredible.
first voice messages to me was, it's not so bad, geez. You're getting fed grapes. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it was generally...
That's why I hung it out for ages. I was like, I'm staying here for a bit. For sure.
You should get that tattooed.
Yeah, mate. I've already got 3 crap tattoos, so I'm never planning another one. But maybe I might do.
What was your... so obviously that's the story, that's where you went, which is an amazing story, and there's probably a lot of other versions, like, to other people's opinions on it. And there's a little part of it that I want to talk to you in a bit, but we'll get onto that in a bit. But so when you was in the hospital, what's your first memory? What do you remember?
I came... I was took off life support because I was breathing bigger, higher than the machine.
Yeah.
Because the guy had said, is he a swimmer or fit or whatever?
Which we might say, you are a swimmer. You are super fit, aren't you? You're a super fit guy. I think a little bit of background is the fact that you are a super fit guy, and you used to do incredible stuff just off the cuff. You did the triathlon.
Well, Chris did his first triathlon with me, 70 miler, and he beat me by an hour. And bearing in mind that I'd done triathlons before.
And also he didn't have a bike and he just borrowed a bike.
He borrowed... there wasn't even a proper road bike. It was a hybrid. Yeah. When we used to go train on their bikes, you used to have that hybrid. He battered me. I've got a $4,000. You see my bike?
Yeah.
I've got an amazing bike. Could not keep up with this guy on a hybrid.
Well, I think
honestly, it's embarrassing.
I think
it was a Cosworth.
Mindset-wise, you've always been super strong.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know what I mean. But so your first memory, what was the feeling?
I came at this point. I didn't know who I was. And all I knew was I'm crazy, because it wasn't like a hospital, because obviously it was intensive care. But I didn't.
Oh, what? Like you thought you was in a crazy ward?
Oh, I thought I was in the cuckoo
Wow.
Nest, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So and I was when the guys came over to see me, I was telling them about this because there was a nurse. What an amazing woman she was, but she had my gown on the other way round. What I thought was the other way round, and obviously they had to. My brain was bleeding so much that they had to cool my temperature, so it was really cold.
Yeah.
And obviously I came,
So you've got your gown on the wrong way round.
Never a good
look.
look.
Front open, yeah.
So your tackle's out.
Well, the tickle, it was that cold. The tickle went out. The tackle.
The tickle was gone.
It was just like a little bruise. So,
Do you know what I like about that part of the story, though, is he's told me a few times.
Yeah.
And what I think is like, death is horrible and all these things, but he's come back to life and the first thing he's gone, he's like, I hope my tackle's all right.
yeah, but you just...
Turn the aircon off quick.
Yeah, because I just need, when you just need to warm it up a bit.
Like you say, that's incredible. You think you're in a mental institution, but your first thought is, listen, this needs to be sorted.
Well, I just thought, turn it round. I was like, what are you doing? Because then I thought, is that how they are now? Because my brain wasn't working.
But you would do the injustice of the fact if the world you woke up in had gowns that went backwards in a cold room, that would be unfair.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Give a guy a break.
It was, but they said, Chris Mullins, when they took me from my first brain scan, and I was thinking, I was hearing these words, brain, death, all these horrible words. But I was like, who's this Chris Mullins guy that everyone's fucking on about?
That is surreal, isn't it?
Yeah,
That is.
Because I was like, there's the Mexican nurse who was like, and she said, I'll make you pretty for your wife. And when you like a big lick. And then give me
Doing your fringe.
Obviously, you're not on point anyway after death, are you? So it wasn't.
Yeah, but that'll sort it out.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
Can I also just ask at that point, because I know obviously we spoke about this before, you told me something really interesting about how we store swear words and other languages in a different part of the brain. And when obviously you came back around, you was explaining to me that obviously speech at that time was, not on it's not the menu at that time, but you had this reserve of words that you knew when you first came around. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
I mean, that was we all know Shameless, yeah? Marty, the guy's like, oh, shit, bollocks. I was kind of like that, but I was thinking, why am I being so vulgar? I wouldn't, with the
almost like Tourette's. Sounds like Tourette's.
Exactly like Tourette's. I mean, which is something bad that we all laugh about that, but obviously there's people, that's a real thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But you can't help but laugh about that. You just can't sometimes because you have to put some humour into that.
Yeah, you're good at that.
And the lady, one of my therapists was telling me this is why. Because I was like, which kind of, can we speak?
Yeah,
go for it.
Which kind of cunt is it? And I was like, and I said it and I thought,
cunt as well.
And I was throwing the C-bomb about it. And, in America, they
That's
a sign of frustration. That's all that is. I think.
Yeah, it was. I had a catalogue of them,
mate. It's amazing.
And but then, like Joe was saying, they explained about my frontal lobe and my cerebral lobes, and which bit of your brain it works because your swear words are locked in a different category to your speaking, and your singing is why I can't do karaoke now very well. Oh, well, I was never great at it. But
by the way, you was amazing at it. Well, quite a little clip.
Well,
she took my hand and walked the chill I got. Well, it's like a volcano this I'm proud to say that she's my bullet cup. I made love. Oh, I love your cup.
Thank you. But yeah, so singing is in a different bit of your brain.
That's crazy.
So you'd think that it's all like when this happens to other people that have got two languages obviously being English and thick like we all are, we've only got one.
We've got one, yeah.
Yeah, but some people, they usually lose their first white language, but they've got a second in reserve because it's a different part of your brain.
Oh, okay.
That's
Obviously,
so interesting.
I never had that. I was
Yeah.
like, bollocks, we only got
You
one.
just had swear words.
So I just had to say cunt, fuck, and whatever.
Yeah, well, the English second
Wow.
language is swear words. So I
Yeah,
could
well, it's
understand
like
that.
we've got our own...
How did people around you deal with it, like your family and you know, your brother and Laura that were there by your bed? How did they deal with that part?
Mate, it's hard to say. There was, we do as a family and friends. There has to be an aspect of fucking hell. We're all right. We're still here. So you laugh about it, but you know, if
Which is a massive positive mindset, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't let that go unnoticed. That's not what everyone thinks, but you are beautiful at doing that.
no,
It's
that's
a positive
kind
thing.
to say, mate.
No, it's true.
And, yeah, it does make you think. Like, you know, I had some times with Laura, with my mum, with Liam, massive moments when I was speaking with all you guys, voice noting me, sending me videos. Yeah, it makes you think, shit, what happened there? Like,
Because it got that much of a big reaction.
yeah, because it was someone that you don't think it's going to happen to anyone, but I really didn't think it would happen to me.
Of course.
And most people didn't. Like you was
Yeah.
before this, you was a super fit guy. Did a bit of everything, went out, but always worked hard and worked your tops off.
You was on
Did
top of
fit.
your game,
You was, yeah.
100%,
We
yeah.
all, everyone,
In every aspect.
I'd say there's a lot of people in this sort of town that would look at you and go, yeah. I mean, I explained the story to quite a lot of people because I had to, and every time they was sort of asking me in a way of going with a beer in the hand, going, is that true? And I was going, yeah, Chris, is that true? And they were going,
sounds like the...
oh, he was loads fitter than me. Like, you could see their face going, oh, dear.
Worry in their
Yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah.
We're all fucked then, basically.
Yeah, basically.
That's
That was
basically
the-
what you think when you hear about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
this
So
story.
that's how sort of like surprising it was.
And you know what I said? I remember one of the first voice notes I sent you, when I said to you, this is why you survived, Chris. I'll tell you exactly why you survived. Because when we used to go out, right, and have a heavy night out, the next day, I would be like, proper feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Proper feeling sorry for myself. I'm about to go to the shop to get a pint of milk and it's killing me. And I drive past Chris's house, he's got no top on, filling a skip. I was like, mate, you've not been...
February.
In February, yeah. Wind and rain, top off. And I just looked at I remember seeing it, I thought, that guy's nailed.
He made us all look
different.
bad.
And that's the
breed.
first thing I thought about when you know, I've got my head around this story that I've been told through Laura and Liam at this point, and everybody else, like, who's heard about it. I just thought to myself, yeah, if anyone was going to survive something like that,
Yeah, agreed.
it's you.
And
I thought you were on
as
top of
well.
that fucking skip when I saw you that morning.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and for me, like being in California, and it was a bad luck, good luck story because I was like, I'm so glad it was him that happened there that got there. If it was me, I'd have done it and fell over the lines and gone to Compton and ended up in a hospital that wasn't going to pay for me. They were just going to go, no, you're done. You're done, fat boy. And I'd just be...
You know, take him out the back. Just take him out the back.
take him out the back. But it was the fact that where we got, and got the... Like, you got... Well, when you woke up, obviously... What you tell the story about the toothbrush and figuring things out.
You'd want that one.
Yeah, you got to have that one in.
It stinks now.
So at this point, are you at home now?
No. So
Oh, you're still in the hospital.
It's finding his
Fine.
feet. Yeah.
I was. They kept changing my wards at like half 1 at night, and I was like, no one does that unless it's something that's going down.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's nothing to worry about. But I was like, it definitely is.
So like half 1 in the morning. Yeah.
They changed me, and obviously then they put me into a stroke ward, which was a horrible thing to hear, because I think the word stroke has got so much stigma to it.
Yeah.
Did they tell you that's what they're doing?
Yeah, she told me, because they realised, obviously, why has this guy got that much brain damage? Which now is way better than it was, because I've been working. But at that moment, it was not good. And they said, you know, and there was a little a doctor there, and she was telling me, and I just was so upset, because I was like, what do you mean I've had a stroke? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why did that conjure up stroke? Because the age thing? Or?
Mate, yeah. But yeah, because of a million things, the stroke, the advert, a stroke, what it is, the
Your
stigma,
percep- yeah.
whatever. it's all them things.
Yeah,
And,
hit home then.
I kind of was like, what do you mean? Well, obviously, I couldn't even say, what do you mean? So I was just going, blah, blah, blah.
You
She
could.
was going, yeah. And then I was like, cool, yeah, exactly. And it was like 6 a.m. that she came and told me that. So obviously I was on my own. And so, sorry, yeah, they said, oh, you've got, you know, I had my own, it was like the fucking Hilton. It was amazing. So they said, Mr. Mullins, are you know, is everything cool? And I was like, yeah, I'm just, at that point, I was
Processing.
yeah, and I knew I needed some food. Like, but I was thinking, what is food? Like, you know, so I got to put something in my body. So I'm working out what is food.
Wow.
And then, then I got a menu, which fucking,
Yeah.
I can't read great now. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now I'm like, shit, what is
Did
that?
they pass you a menu?
Yeah,
Yeah. What?
That
Fucking
does
braille.
seem mad,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
I'm just going to nip to
Yeah.
the brain damage ward. Here's a menu.
yeah, have a
just
good
try to
read
make
of
it
that.
all.
And,
Yeah.
let me know what
Yeah.
you'd love, what tickles your
Scrambled
fancy.
eggs, I love, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
I want to, you know, like this little part here as well. Like, 'cause the thing is, I find that we joke about a lot of these things, which is serious, but also that's what you've always wanted. And like the first time we spoke, you sent me a message. You couldn't speak at all. Like, I might even, if we can put it on, just put the beginning bit on, because I can't remember it fully, but it was just like.
Yeah.
And he was like, we've got to laugh about this, Keys. We've got to laugh about it. And because I was like thinking of loads of funny things to say and
Yeah.
make a joke, and I was like, I'm going to be considerate. And then he just went, no way. Take the piss out of me as
Yeah,
much as you can.
yeah.
Then I was like, fantastic.
Humour
And we just-
helps.
Yeah.
It did, and it helps with different people in different ways. But
Yeah,
you guys,
agreed. Yeah.
these neurons that needed plasticity that needed to come
Start
together,
firing,
it was you guys, and I'll never forget that. But yeah, sorry, the toilet, toothbrush.
Okay.
I came. Obviously, I had my own room. You know, and everyone was so nice, and they knew what had happened. And you looked around the ward and thought everyone was 80,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah.
And then I was like, "Where's this guy?
Yeah, why is he here?
What is
Yeah.
he doing here? The fraud?" And I was like, "Okay, cunt." But, so then I thought, so I had some food. That took a while. And then I needed to go.
Can you remember your first meal?
Yeah. Well, I had everything because I just could point. So I thought,
I'll have the lot.
Shut that.
All of it,
Yeah.
please. All of it. That's just you, though. You're like, well, this is for no.
well, I wanted kebab. But kebabs are tricky. Them K's were tricky. Then I thought I'd get that. And I came, and then I thought, you know, nature calls. Needed to go to the bathroom, and I had my own. My gown was on the right way. The heating was on.
Yeah,
Things were
you're
good.
smashing it now.
Yeah, I'm in my, living my
tackle's well.
good life. And so I went on the throne, you know, and sat down. And
yeah.
sometimes it's the best place to work things out.
It's a great thinking place.
Yeah, it is.
Weirdly, and so natural. Like toilet, bang, straight on, no problems. I was like,
Thank God for
that's
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Tick that one. Tick one off.
yeah.
It's done.
But and then it was such a instinct. But then, you know, I needed to wipe my arse. Let's just
Yeah.
say what it is.
Yeah.
And but I was like, and the nurse is going, Mr. Chris, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. 'Cause I thought she don't want to come
What's
now.
your faulty towers?
Yeah, well, no, she was Mexican. But it's the best. It's the best I've got.
Yeah.
It was good.
And
It was good.
I seen the toothbrush. Laura had left me my toothbrush, and I thought, but obviously I couldn't see it.
An
'cause
electric
it was
one?
white. Yeah,
Electric one.
yeah, and it was white as well. So it took me ages, probably half an hour to find the toothbrush.
Really? You're still on the
Oh,
toilet?
Yeah.
You're on the toilet for half an hour looking.
Oh, mate, I was on there for about 2 hours. No, like, I mean, you got to think about your first ever shit.
Yeah, true.
It was amazing.
It's a
Well,
satisfying
I'm not
feeling.
getting up his toilet.
Nah.
Like,
Well, you've had a bad time, and then you're like, wow.
Yeah, and sometimes it's where you do your thinking anyway. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it is, yeah.
But then I seen this toothbrush and I thought that, and things were kind of gelling together, but also like I was thinking, you surely don't put that up your arse. But then I thought, well, it looks like a tooth cleaner,
I agree.
a tooth, what?
A bum cleaner?
Not a bum cleaner, but a brush what you do shit with.
Oh, a toilet brush.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
yeah.
I was thinking,
mini toilet
that's
brush. Yeah.
massive, and I was thinking, you don't put that. I had to.
It makes sense.
Yeah, there was some sense to
Yeah,
there,
of course. Yeah.
and that's what not described. He said they told me it's called dyspraxia.
Okay.
Yes, dyspraxia.
Yeah, so that's when like you've got a comb,
Yeah.
but you're fucking putting it on your head like that. So you know that goes there, and you comb your hair
Yeah.
with it. But I wasn't doing that. I was just
The neurons aren't firing.
yeah,
to it.
things want
Yeah.
things want right.
So what we all want to ask now is,
Yeah,
did
what-
Dad go up your ass?
Yeah, he did. I don't know where it's gone.
You beat me to it.
We thought so.
Yeah,
And that was it. That's all we need to know.
full
amazing.
charges on
Yeah.
it was on as
And
well.
what
So, I was
about,
like,
so you've learned to, you've obviously gone past that point of that toothbrush scenario.
yeah, I'm on the manuals now.
Yeah. and then tell it what was this thing about? Obviously, a program that you just came into your mind and you watched continually.
Oh well, this was mad. I suppose your memories and I don't know the word, what you remember growing up, or what was in my mind was
Nostalgia.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, is the word, exactly the word. Only fools and horses was like I literally had a stroke and I was like, you got a gun in my cup, you got a toothpaste in your arse. That's obviously my own lyrics. But, and my mum would be in the ward and she'd be like, and I'd say, oh, what's... I was thinking like, for some reason I could say Marlene. Thank God. I was healed.
Molly?
But I couldn't say, Rodney and Dell. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I know.
what's that saying?
That's what I knew. It was.
You
it
like
was shock.
Marlene.
It was,
You did like Marlene.
yeah. Edit that. Yeah. So these things that are your childhood, really. We all know that. We all know that tune. We all know
Yeah.
an episode at least of that.
When
So you
told
tapped
me
into
that-
your kid memory bank then, basically,
yeah,
didn't you?
Yeah.
When you told me that, I just had a thought process around that. If your body's in trauma, your brain's in trauma, trying to recover, it's just found some memories and gone, these are what you like.
Protection.
Protection, and gone, look,
Damage
what that
limitation.
put a big brown telly on, the old brown telly on, and just gone,
Yeah,
look, listen,
yeah.
we're going to sort this stuff
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Watch this.
You enjoy
And it's gone,
yourself.
ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Stick a
Get that
toothbrush
toe
up.
push out, Marlene.
I didn't see that episode.
Yeah.
That was in your end. So obviously you're in California, which is amazing, in an amazing hotel stroke. And this is a good point we've got to make as well. So an amazing hospital, one of the best that you can find.
Probably the best. Yeah.
Yeah. So is in your insurance is all up to date? Are you there? It's
Yeah, you're fully covered.
You know me, I never do anything that. I was like, that'll be all right. I mean, when's that shit gonna happen to me?
Exactly, yeah.
I did have holiday insurance, like when you go to Skeg and you lose your beach ball.
£5 for the post office.
Obviously, the bill was 1.4 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you have for dinner that day?
Right, Philong Mongyon. Loved it. You know what I'm saying?
With a Chateau Pape de Neuf.
Right, so
Oh,
wait
mate,
a minute,
I
wait a
love
minute.
it.
Let's just take a step back there a second. Right, so you had no insurance.
No.
It cost 1.4 million. What happened?
Well, I did have obviously a bit of insurance, but because my visa had expired because we got screwed with COVID, so there was another variant of COVID or whatever. Delayed us getting to Australia again. And that point, it was like, shit, we're out of our insurance. What do we do? And it was like, oh, it's any time. So, yeah, I was illegal in that at that time, which I knew I would have got overturned because I wasn't working in America, obviously. But it was a tricky time, and that's when there was something in place in place when you're British and American that they just sorted it out.
And I looked up when you was in there. So California have got the only rule in the whole of America where they give full care to illegal like aliens. Whoever's in there, doesn't matter. California will pay.
That's the only state.
The only state. And they're going crazy about it because obviously they spend billions a year. But they said, look, every human being deserves to be treated the
That's
same
an
as everyone
incredible
else.
stat. California is the only state.
It's very liberal for America, isn't
But
it?
that's why when he was in there, I was
health
reading
and
stuff
social
of
care.
obviously what would happen, and I read that and I thought, oh, brilliant. And then he was like, yeah, I'm eating grapes and spending 1.4 million pounds.
Can I have that in cash back, please?
Right. So when you say they have a thing where it's America and England, like, is that for everyone? Like, if that happened to us, if we went out there in California, that's what they cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously I came... You can't get into America without an ESTA or a visa or whatever.
Yeah.
So there has to be that in place. I didn't realise they did it for everyone, but maybe they do in California. But I know that straight away, because I was in palliative care, that they'd said to me, like, don't worry about it, because obviously, you know what I mean?
What can you do?
Nobody, in that moment, you probably don't think about money anyway. Cause,
Well, palliative care, just for everyone to know, is caring for people that are dying, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I was in. I was in
Palliative care.
yeah.
Tricky word that is.
Yeah.
Even I got it. Yeah. Palliative care.
Yeah.
Palliative.
Palliative.
No, not palliative.
Palliative.
I'm not even trying it.
No, and there's nothing more uninteresting than people doing it.
I'm wrong.
Palliative.
That's
No.
what I mean.
What's that?
I thought it was palliative.
Is it? But it might be palliative.
No, don't
Anyway.
quote me.
Right,
I don't
okay.
know for
We
definite.
digress.
We do.
Yeah.
Definitely don't ask me. No way.
Yeah, but
So
to be able to
sorry.
say that
I
from
just
it.
can, So just to keep on this point about
Yeah.
the costs and all that sort of stuff. If you wasn't in California and you was in another state, do you know what would have happened in that scenario?
I would have still been looked after for sure. You know, it's like anywhere. Depends where these things happen.
I think you'd be that would be the more likely of the American English like thing, and I think they look after basically they've got a duty of care.
I'm
between
not
countries.
so sure, you know.
No, they have. If anything past a certain point, if you broke your leg, that goes insurance flat. But anything,
All
if
right,
you-
but
if
it
you
might
d-
not have had the same care as what he got in California.
No,
It
it
might have been a different story.
Oh,
is what I'm
100%. I think
saying.
they'd have probably got it quicker or done less things. Maybe. I don't know.
What I'm trying to get to here is perhaps that a lesson that could be learnt from this for men, for all men, regardless of your age and fitness.
Yeah.
We ought to make sure that we're got insurance and cover. I mean, obviously, you was in a very unfortunate situation, but in a place that fortunately had the best care possible for you.
Yeah, which is an exception, really.
Which is an
isn't it?
exception to the case. But what I'm saying is.
Yeah, you get a good message out there. Yeah,
A message is here.
Get your life cover because you're
get
not
your
all
life
going to be
cover.
as lucky as Mo. That's
Exactly.
what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
And also, if there is any companies that want to sponsor us, there is life insurance. We are all coming up to 40.
That's what
We've got the great advert here.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
You can survive
Yeah.
anything.
This
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
I mean, it's tricky. Luke said about that. It's the unlucky person.
Yeah,
ever.
so he had it, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's got two heads to it. That
Yeah, and we've got to be, real here. Is that this, it is a miracle. This could have been, if this happened 10 times to 10 men, 9 of them wouldn't have survived it. Yeah,
Oh.
maybe 99 out of 100 or wouldn't have survived it. Whatever the stat is basically what I'm saying is there was 2 sides to this coin, and it was very likely it was going to land on one side, and luckily it didn't.
Yeah, it was the stats were astronomical. They told me, like in the millions, for that to, there was people in East Coast New York on Skype to West Coast doctors. Probably 30 of them in the room saying, "Wow, what the hell?" And like they said, "Can I be a case study?" And there was a lot going on that nobody knew about and still don't know things about. Which I get that sometimes you just don't know. And that's just how it
Well,
is.
science is forever evolving. You
Yeah.
can't just know everything.
But that's a
can
good
you?
acceptance of that.
Amazing.
Scenario. Yeah. Could be good. So you're obviously in the hospital, and I think there's a miracle that you survived. I think there's an element of you're not sure what that is or mindset and everything, but I think what's brought you to here is pure mindset. I think from the beginning of you, so I think probably a week, 2 weeks in, you was having a beer with your brother watching football. I mean, in the hospital.
Yeah. Definitely edit
We
that
don't
bit.
condone that. As
You're having a beer in the hospital, but after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's an element of what you're supposed to do, which obviously the doctors are right, but there is an element of
What's good?
I want to sit with my brother, I want to sit with my friends, because if you're not getting better in your head, then you're not going to get better anyway.
Yeah.
So, I needed. Forest were playing Liverpool, and I couldn't say the word Liverpool.
know, yeah.
But actually, I'd happy to not ever say that word anyway.
That's not a direct insult to all from Liverpool.
Subscribe.
He just, funnily enough, he just didn't bother ever learning that again.
No, well, I just thought, because the therapist guy said, "Oh, put it on the chalkboard for you," and I was like, "No, you're right, mate." Because all I could say was Klopp's.
Man,
What? Remember
yeah.
I said
Klopp's
that?
lot, yeah.
Klopp's lot. So I was thinking, what is there? I mean, there's a lot of O's and L's going around there.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, I'll sack that one.
Too much effort that.
And but Liam came and we watched the FA Cup. We played
Liverpool.
Forest, because going back a little bit there, when I came to after a few days, and I said to Liam, like, what I thought it was the season where, can you remember when Jemson had the
Headbutt,
cold?
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the
Was it not Nigel Clough?
That was 91, 92,
Around that time.
something like that, wasn't it?
But I thought that was the season when the cup, and he had it.
Headed it out his hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, then he scored the goal, yeah.
And Liam said to me, "No, mate, we're playing Luton away tomorrow."
Do you know what? One
And I
of
was
my
like,
biggest fears was
no.
Flight of the Navigator. That would be like Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? You know when he goes and knocks on that door? And
That's
his
your
mum's
favourite pop culture reference, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because it scared me a lot.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, what pop culture reference is that? What is it?
What? Flight of the
You,
Navigator?
can you not remember the other podcast we were talking about Flight of the Navigator? You
haven't-
didn't know what the film was?
No.
Yeah, where he gets the
Can't you remember
frisbee. I know it.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah. They were like, he didn't even know.
I do vaguely remember that. Maybe I was more drunk than I thought.
Yeah, you were. I think you were.
But,
Anyway.
Yeah.
We digress.
So there's another thing I want to talk to you about, and it's only if you're comfortable talking about it, because I know that you're not, and this isn't in an offensive way, but you're not like a spiritual person in the sense of, believing in God or, all this woo-woo stuff. You're pretty kind of like, how can I explain it? You're not a pusher of speculation, for example. Yeah, you don't speculate about stuff often. You're not the sort of guy who would, tell me a bullshit story that he saw a ghost one day in his bedroom. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's like the opposite to what sort of person you are.
Yeah, I believe weirdly. Some people probably don't know, but when if I'm with my kids or if you guys are doing something, then I do think of something. And always have. I think, I hope things are good.
Yeah.
Like a prayer, I suppose.
yeah.
It's, but I'm not massive on
You don't get to church on
religion and
Sunday,
everything. But the other things, what you're saying about, not bullshit's the wrong word, definitely, but
It's
just
all the
the
hippie
way-
hocus pocus stuff.
I'm
You're not really
about that really.
No.
And I don't think it's right or wrong either way. It's what people like to believe. But yeah, I had a little an episode of my own that I wouldn't believe if I said it to myself. So where does that leave you?
That leads me that I want to know what it is.
Well, so there's an experience here that's happened. So do you want to talk about it from the point of, because I believe it was when you got pulled over the first time in the ambulance.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of tell us what happened from your point of view and what Laura, your partner, then told you afterwards about the location, etc.?
Well, I knew, which I shouldn't have known, because I was dead when they took me in the ambulance. and there was a place, what I said about Jack's Bagels, it's called, Monday morning. So everyone's at work, busy around there, getting their bagels and breakfast, whatever. And obviously, the ambulances pulled in, and with a fast in erratic, pulled me over. But weirdly, I was watching it unfold myself in so much peace.
Like an out of body experience you're talking about,
Exactly like that.
Like
which
So where was you positioned?
in the bagel place in a bay that was not in an actual. There wasn't parked right, because obviously there was in a mad rush. So they'd pull over, and I could see, and they pulled me. This guy.
So you could see this happening.
Yeah,
from outside.
there was a guy. Obviously, it was my body.
It was you. Yeah.
And I was watching with all these people, and I always remember this lady with her face
Covering her mouth.
Wow.
And because there was, it was a busy retail kind of park where it was, and I was thinking like, wow, this is what my being, whatever it was. I was thinking, wow, it's all going off here, basically. And there was obviously the paramedics there was so much pandemonium going on.
Do you know when you was watching this body then, what was of you, was you aware that you was your spiritual form, or was you thinking you're someone else at this point, looking at how, like, I know it's hard to ask that question, but if you can try and sort of figure out.
It's a great question, Ben, but I just didn't know what it was. I just was looking at someone that was familiar, because I thought, he looks like me.
Yeah, that's
But obviously, I didn't know who I was in that moment, but I remember thinking, I wasn't freezing like I was at the other, but no, it was cold. But I wasn't cold. It was just cold. And there was so much craziness going on, but it was almost mute to me. Because I was
like silence amongst the chaos.
Yeah. But I seen it happening, and there was this is crazy. So apologies, but this is how it went down. There was I don't know if it was a man or a woman, and it wasn't like a scary
ghostly type figure or anything like that.
It wasn't like with the guy with the
Grim Reaper.
or a remember. So then this figure was sort of coaxing me away from the incident and taking me to this. Each step that I took, I was like, oh, it's getting more chill.
Yeah.
And it was getting, it wasn't like a door. It was
like stuff was fading out, sort of.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, and I was, whoever they was sort of like
ushering you away from it all.
Ushering me this way, kind of thing, without saying words, and sort of showing me the exit. I'm guessing
that's mad shit.
Yeah, but I got to the exit and the door, whatever it was, the opening, and there's something in me that in that moment, and I'd love to say it was the girls or Laura but it wasn't. It just something just went, hold on a minute, what are you doing? Like something in me.
Yeah.
Do you think that when that happened, that's something that could have been the moment that they resuscitated you on the other side?
Yeah, well, I think it was around while they was trying to resuscitate me for sure, but they was going, and I remember one guy saying he's completely gone.
Well, you remember hearing that?
Yeah, I remember all this pandemonium.
And was there any emotion there?
Nothing until I thought. Hold on.
Did you make you distinctly say, don't you? You made the decision.
Yeah, I didn't say it, but I turned right because
you felt like you made it.
Figure, and like I say, it wasn't a scary time, which it should have been, but it just wasn't. And it was you know, someone come with me, let's go, and I just had
You
a
just
moment.
you just didn't follow him. You just was like,
Yeah.
I got hairs on my arms. That's
It was crazy, mate. And like Joe said, you know, you guys know me.
You wouldn't say them stories.
I'll tell you what, Chris. This is why I'm fascinated with the story, because, you know, I am someone that is into like the spiritual stuff, hocus pocus stuff. Like I live my life by some of it, and you know, I don't really care about what other people feel of it. That's how I live my life, and so this is really kind of like.
But I think it would be
captivated me a little bit, because I've had people tell me these stories before, and actually I've had people tell me stories and that are amazing, and you know I believe them, but there's a bit of me that's always it might be bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It might be, and we talk about this. There's always a bit there.
Yeah.
You always got to save a
Element
bit
of doubt. There's an element of doubt.
you always got to think critically. Always. Yeah. You're the first person that's told me, which I know you wouldn't say that unless that you experienced it.
Yeah.
And it's made me rethink some of my beliefs. Not rethink beliefs towards death, but understanding towards it. It's made me kind of rethink my understanding of.
Makes you question different theories.
Well, God, we could go down a right rabbit hole with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fascinating, and I think that it was from when you first told me that, I found it quite comforting.
I found that comforting.
Comforting to hear that actually
feels like my mate's gone somewhere.
There's some sort of experience that we have post life.
Yeah.
But we don't know what that is or how long it lasts for. Whether it's just moments, or you know, it's just half an hour. We don't know what it is, or you're going somewhere else. But knowing that, I think, is comforting.
Oh, well, yeah, it's amazing. Just having that little bit of hope rather than it just being nothingness.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little bit intriguing.
When you told that story, because obviously, to put it in context as well, the reason why you found out that was a strange story is because you explained that, didn't you? Did you explain it to Laura or the doctor?
Yeah, I asked Laura, because I came, you know, I finally left the person and thought, nah, fuck this. It didn't feel right. There's a lot more to do in life, whatever it might be. I didn't know them things. I just thought, this don't feel right. And I went, this is like, again, it's like something in a movie almost. But I remember coming back into myself, and then that moment they got me back, and then I went, and I
gasped for breath.
Gasped, and then bang, it was lights out. They'd obviously got me going again, and it was the biggest breathe.
That coming up out of water.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, and then but then I was gone again. And obviously it happened again. I didn't remember nothing about the next time, but that first time. But when Laura and my mum were there, and I was, you know, speaking as best as I could, I was like, so why was we at the bagel place? And Laura was like, fuck, do you know about the bagel place?
Yeah, you shouldn't have known about it.
You don't know nothing about the bagel place. And I was like, no, I knew where we pulled up, and I knew where... I mean, the bagel place.
So her perception was you are dying while you're in this bagel place, and your position. So you would have never.
Yeah, you was out.
You was out. Yeah, couldn't know that, and you know, you can only look a gift horse in the mouth, is it? I think that's happened to me. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It was obviously it was an out of body experience, which is, you know. For me, as Joe was saying, Jesus, it don't seem right for me because I'm not that guy. But I can't lie about the truth. I've seen it. It was what it was.
And and that's what I think is amazed us, and that's why it's a great story, because we've known each other a long time, all of us have, and you are a straight talking. Not to say you don't believe in anything, but also on the fact where you're like, okay, I'm not even going to go into it because it don't matter. But like, do you know what I mean?
And also probably the type of guy that if I came along and went, Chris, you know, you're going to believe this, what happened to me? I saw myself done. You gone, fuck off.
Molly knows.
Molly never had no room for bullshit.
I know.
That's good though. It's a great quality.
Yeah, it's good.
I think that's why, though, truthfully, why we all heard it and went, oh wow.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
real.
What made it amazing.
And also the fact that you explained where you was when you shouldn't have explained where you was.
Yeah, I mean that was the game changer.
Well, Laura's she's just gone through this full trauma. She's gone all this way. she's like, oh my God, I've lost, like, because you both love each other and you're like, right, you're in another country, all of the fears that have gone through it.
Yeah.
She wakes up and you're watching Only Fools and Horses sticking toothbrushes up your arse, telling that you knew you was at the bagel shop.
Where it all go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that is a curveball for her, isn't it, to deal with that.
Obviously, you know, that's a curveball, but obviously the whole thing's been a curveball for Laura and the kids as well.
Yeah.
And you know, Laura told me her version of the day that you became really poorly when they had to call an ambulance, and you know that you weren't feeling very well, then you passed out, and I suppose you know for 2 weeks, obviously you knew this pain was there, but it was all very, you know, bit of DP, you know, bit of DP,
Yeah.
be sorted.
Marlene will put that on.
Yeah, so
The Mullins way.
Yeah.
DP.
So obviously one day your life's completely normal, and then, you know, just out of nowhere, this happens. Obviously there's got to be a whole shock factor to this. Like, how have you kind of, how's Laura dealt with that? And
It's been tricky, if I'm honest with you. It's been tricky as a family, as individuals, all of us. You got, like I said, you was in there with me. You know, there was times where I thought, I was so sad that I'd made everyone else sad because I thought, fuck, I knew how you guys were hurting.
Mate, that's crazy.
And I know you shouldn't think like that, but
there's a human in you that will always have compassion for others,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Exactly. I mean, the girls had to go to school in America. That was never on the menu either. Laura had to see things she should never have had to do. But with that resilience and with that love and with that, no, we fucking don't take nothing for. We go for it we do. And Luke will tell you this: if you don't know, you know, if you're on the ropes and someone's hitting you, you got to hit back and get back in the center of the ring, or else you're gonna just get fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a great life analogy, by the way, isn't it?
Because
it's true to life.
I was going to say take a knee. That's what I was done. Sorry.
No.
It's
I
a
like
lot
Chris
more
says,
heroic.
you fight back and you get back, and that's exactly what you do. You fight back, you got back in the centre of the ring. You didn't quit. You thought, fuck me, this is going down, and you got back up and you went, I'm having it. I'm facing it head on.
Because the not shocking. I don't know if it's shocking, but they're still, you know. I still can't believe this. We're less than a year down the road now, aren't we? What are we, about 9 months down the road, are we?
Yeah, well, on the 28th of February, it will be a year, and that's the day that I'm going for. So we're 4 months away or
yeah.
ish.
So fucking February, right? So what's that? Yeah, in 4 months.
3 months away. Well, 3.5.
So you're 8 months into this now.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, you can't help it when you hear a story like put yourself in that person's shoes. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, if this happened to me, well, I'll probably be dead. But let's say I did survive.
You would not be.
Let's say I did survive. How would I respond to that afterwards? And, you know, it's hard to kind of think, you know, how much would my head be in the game? How much motivation would I have? How much, you know, disbelief would I have, and all this sort of stuff? That's what I would think. And you're back running, cycling, doing midnight swims in open water.
That's what I wanted to touch on. The
you know,
progression.
you're sat doing a podcast. Let's be serious. You couldn't talk at the beginning, could you? I mean, the voice notes were at the game. We had to play a game. It was like deciphering what you were saying. I'd text you back. Is that what it was? You'd be like, yeah. I'm like, yes.
It was a great game.
Great game. It was a great
You
game.
would see us all at home. We'd all like swap each other's like conversations. Go, what did you get? It was like we got this.
Yeah.
And then what happened was the progression went. Then you start to ride a bike, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, they've told me I can't ride a bike," and then fall off the bike while on the message.
On the voice.
Yeah, so you're doing voice notes whilst riding the bike. Like, tell us about
Yeah, why
that.
did you think about that?
Well, I think it's great advice. Take it easy. I could have had a year not doing nothing, but where does it get you? I knew my strengths in that moment, and they were make myself motivated, get as fit as I could. Obviously, my leg still hurts, so I can't run like I used to, but it will get there. But I jumped into the sea, and I didn't know if I could swim. But I needed to do it that way.
You needed to see for yourself.
Yeah, you need
what
to
you
know
were, what you were capable of.
what
at
you're
that time.
capable. And I'm not stupid. I know the problems now that I've got with this aphasia.
What's aphasia?
Aphasia is a lot of people that have a stroke have aphasia. So your cognitive thinking is in the fucking with my toothbrush.
What's cognitive thinking? What's
So my long-term memory is fine,
right?
but my numbers, my alphabet, things.
Your working memory, you said you called
My
it.
working memory, is and everyone makes the joke. Oh, you don't need that anyway, but unfortunately, you do. And I'd be lying to everybody if I said, "Oh, I'm sound," because I'm not sound now. And that's something that I got to get my head round, and I'm getting my head round. But because it's a reality of what did happen. I'm fortunate that I don't look any different. I'm a bit older for sure. Got a few grey hairs from that one, but I'm still me.
Yeah.
But with us, when we're with all the lads and my family, things are okay. But there's real life to do also, and that's where you slip over a little bit. But I needed to get a base, which was not necessarily fitness, because I love a few beers also. At least I love these things. Yeah, I love one. That's the all run though. And but I needed to think, well, what am I good at? So I thought, well, I can swim, I can run, my words are coming back each day.
Yeah.
My vocabulary, which I could not have said a fucking few months
That's
ago.
pretty impressive, mate.
That's a big V.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The rate of progression, like back to the voice notes. I remember hearing flappings of paper where you're having to look at letters and you're having to do the phonics. Like you've had to literally start from scratch. From sort of.
I couldn't say Laura's name.
But that's what I'm saying. The academic side of things, that's where physically you put yourself out there and you did it. But academically, that's where you have to literally retrain yourself again, don't you?
Yeah. But I thought, Ben, in myself, in the moments, I thought, if I ain't got no motivation, which I thought I written it out, and that was like my first bubble motivation. Because then I thought, from that, I can get anything else.
It's your middle fucking name, by the way. Motivation.
Oh, motivation.
Oh, mate, honestly, that is you.
It's
Graham.
It was great. Yeah, with a spelled weird, spelled wrong. Who did that?
I don't know.
My granddad. I just thought I needed. If I'd have just stayed and not got fitter again, then my mental state wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
Because I had to work out what was best to do. Because I did think there was moments where I thought, would I trade my brain back? And I did think there was times where I thought, I would take my brain back. Because, I was never...
What, like swap it for the physical side?
Yeah,
of game?
exactly.
Yeah.
Because, I always not put myself down, but, put it below.
Yeah.
I was never going to do all this, what you guys were doing, but I always had my shit in order.
Yeah, what you're saying is you doubted yourself. You didn't realise how fucking clever it was. Like, so you're saying you'd happily swap how physically advanced you were, you'd want that more for you to swap the
I think
mental side.
we all take it for granted what you've lost, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to, I don't want to, I'd prefer it when everyone says, Mo, his old self. I seen Danny G the other day, and it was so good to see him, and I am. That's what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
That I am.
Well, the biggest fear for me was that obviously the initial one was, oh my gosh, that you're not here. We sat with your family before it, and then after the event, I was like, okay, he's here now. I knew I had no doubt that he wasn't going to be here. Weirdly enough, and but after the event, I was like, is he Chris?
Yeah, what version of Chris?
What version
are
of
we
Chris?
going to get?
And we travelled out to see you, which I was happy about.
Yeah, I know.
I went on my 40th to Vegas, and I thought with me and Joe and Jay, another one of us, we've all been close. We just thought we've got to make the trip. We've got to make the trip over.
We could not fly to America. I said this to you on the voice. I sent you a voice note, Chris. I can't do it. Like, I can't fly to America and not come and see you.
But knowing now what we know now, your mindset was in such a place of, I'm getting out of this. I'm going to make this work. I don't want anyone to see me until I've made it work. It made sense, but we just had to see, and also as well, I think it's that link and just do it, and then.
You did what you did was fucking amazing. Didn't even know that I needed it. Was telling you that I didn't fucking need it, and was telling you was a cunt to get that stuff. And I was like, what are you doing? Because I am a knob. I get that because I'm.
No, you was in that mindset. That's where it was in.
What's it? Stubborn when I thought, because somebody said to me, "Oh, it's okay. We'll take you round and have a coffee." I was like, "What the fuck? I don't want to have no coffee with none of you guys ever. Ask me for no coffee, okay? Over the line,
beers or nothing."
Yeah. So that's part of my makeup. Not that beers should be, but being with my friends is a part of my life.
Yeah, being with the people.
And I was hurting, lads. I was hurting bad. And you unfortunately, mate. I'm so sorry. You got the brunt of it because I
was happy to get that.
And thank you for just telling me I was a prick. And when I was giving,
that's what mates do.
Yeah, it is. And when you was there, and obviously we'd all been. Because obviously I didn't know you was coming.
Also, as well, I want to make this sound like it's an amazing story of like coming and finding his mate from the other side of the world. But we did go to Vegas for 4 days first.
Yeah, when we got there, we were hanging. Yeah, we were hanging.
I did have to dip there first. Yeah. I didn't stop the whole holiday. I was like, look, he's being Marty with me anyway.
It was almost like, quick, we're going to get to California to see Chris. Oh, but we're still doing Vegas first. So
I'm surprised you didn't leave that out and play the martyr. We travelled all the way just to California. The story's got to be true.
No, it's
fair dues.
It was, when I fell out with, not fell out with Liam and Ollie, but everyone that knew about this thing, except for me, because obviously there's a reason I didn't know, because you lot know me very well, that you'd say no. But so you all didn't, and you had been to the ball, I think, a few days before you went to Vegas.
Yeah, the week before.
Which obviously you guys were keeping me in the loop, and I was saying, I hope it goes well, whatever, And then, and there was, after I thought about it, there was clues in it all. There was a lad that we know, and he voice noted me, and obviously he didn't know, and he was like, I thought what was there, and he said,
Who was that?
A lad called Dale. He was something to do with the ball. Yeah. But he'd said to me, obviously, with us guys, he knew, that was just how things go, I suppose. But then when my brother told, I was only been out of hospital a day. I mean, a day.
Oh, you lot bang out of order.
So I was like, it was a lot for me to process.
But also as well, the two sides of that story is we obviously wanted to see him, make sure he was fine, and go to spend some time with him.
No, it's not all about you, okay?
No,
Well, actually, I had to tell you that a couple of times. You remember that? Like, he was that steaming. Yeah, I could see Chris in the corner. He just had, 2 heart attacks and died. Yeah. Chris sat in the corner. And Luke's there just going blah, 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 in his ear about how much he loves him.
I can't believe it was real.
And I had to go over to him and go, Luke, this isn't your therapy session.
I had another stroke, another one.
Well, he actually told me that, and his story went, and I was chewing it, and I was trying to find out this, and Chris just went, not now, mate, and just pushed me away, and that's when I went, all right, fair enough.
We were there for one reason only at that point, and that was to be around you and just bring a bit of joy and a bit of a laugh and nothing more.
And you did it.
That's what you needed.
I didn't know I needed it.
But Chris had to do it in a way where he's just one day out of hospital, meets us in the middle of Santa Barbara.
I had 12 pints.
Yeah.
12 pints.
Did you really?
12 pints.
Did you have 12
pints? And I was ready for the main course.
12 pints straight off the bat.
And the
That's legendary.
They must have thought, who are these English guys? Oh, look how loud we were being crazy. And this guy was like, hey man, you must have a great. And I was there with a pad and paper, like, I'm back, cunt, whatever. And I was just thinking, but when I look back at that and think, fuck, You guys did that for me.
Yeah.
Never
But also,
fucking
the
forget it.
greatest thing of mentality and people who are stronger, the next day I was so hungover, I felt awful. We went for dinner, and he just looked at me, and I tried my hardest. I thought, he's just nearly died. I can't moan about my hangover. And I got through to the whole of the day, and I just went to this toilet. I was like, and I went, I'm really bad. I'm sorry, mate. He went, yeah, I know you are.
I knew
He said
you were gonna-
exactly that. And I just remember thinking, oh, God, I'm so far off from mentality.
I was
Get some
thinking,
perspective,
shit.
Luke.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking we do not belong in Santa Barbara.
Oh,
Our
no.
crowd, we stood out like a sore thumb, didn't we? Like a sore
Wait,
thumb.
Why? Give me a typical Santa Barbara.
A person, Chris will.
Yeah,
Chris
15,
lived there.
15
Chris
pound
lived
a
there.
pint.
A what?
15 pound a pint.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you
okay.
what, you explained
Pretentious.
having aphasia, having all your problems, living in Santa Barbara and dealing with that. I mean, how was that?
Oh, mate. Well, I got a reset, didn't I? So I got a reset to the way where now, for me, I was retrained in America.
Yeah.
All my therapy was in America. So the money was yen. Dollars, obviously. Just for the cameras.
That was impressive. That was cool.
Yeah, I had to learn. All my therapy was done in American.
Yeah.
Which you think, American, what's the difference?
English is a big
Yeah,
thing,
massive
yeah,
difference.
yeah.
Because I was on the bike, I was on the wrong stiff. But for me now, I think that England is the worst, is the wrong
way round.
Because I was
You've relearned.
learn American
Yeah.
in America.
Wow.
So now my brain, when I get into the car, not that I'm not driving, by the way. DBLA, if you're looking.
Do you know how smooth that was when you just went up to the mic and did that?
And
Just do that all the time.
It also makes you feel
Put your
like
mouth there. That was that. Not driving, by the way.
I also feel that means you will be.
No, I'm not.
I know.
I've got to do my test again.
Have you?
Yeah, I bet you're nervous about
Well,
that.
that's a
No,
bastard.
but let's just. I tell you,
Yeah,
wait,
I know.
Let's just hold on for a
3
minute.
points, I'll get straight away. I'm like, what?
We're only 8 months in. Is that surely that's a bit further down? You can kick that can down the road a little bit. Your driving test.
He's a
Yeah,
taxi driver.
I'll get a Uber now. Absolute Ubers.
He picked me up tonight.
DVLA, if you're there, it's a joke. It's a joke. No, I'm not allowed to drive, of course, because the right side of my vision's gone. But I will get another test. Around the year mark, and I think you have to. I think it's just 5 pints and reverse home, and you're there. So I thought, well, I've got that in the tank.
What was it like? What was it like conversing with Santa Barbarans after you? So
Santa Barbarians.
yeah, that's why I call
Santa
them
Barbarians.
Santa
Yeah.
Barbarians. But when you go to, so you've had obviously been to the shops there. I mean, we've been there a short space of time, and they're a fantastic group of people.
I've never been there.
Like I said, listen, it's a beautiful place, but it's just a different way of living.
Very different.
They're
So,
just-
so when you say about like £12 a pint, is it pretentious?
Well, no. I mean, Chris has lived
Yeah.
there. So.
I mean, listen, like anything, there's goods and bads.
Yeah.
Where Liam lives, you can't base that on everywhere, because where he lives is amazing.
Right.
And everyone's a therapist. Don't know Tyler's anywhere. I don't know who's doing that shit. But everyone's ramo with therapists.
Yeah.
They're all over. So, there comes a time where you think, who does the other jobs?
When you say that, you mean they're all really high paid
You know,
jobs.
you know who does
No,
the other
it's,
jobs.
it's quite hippie out there. They're all very
you know
spiritual.
who does the other
Right.
jobs? Mexicans.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's like you say, that's a whole.
Because you met a few of them, amazing, aren't
the
they?
Mexican. Listen, the Americans were amazing.
Yeah.
There was all, like anyone, you get good and bad of whoever, English, whoever.
Yeah.
But on a whole, it's hard for me to gauge it, because I loved my kids to be around these things where they're learning about nature and whatever. But if you come to the chase, there's no crack, and if you ain't got no crack, Thingy said it. Who said it? Who we love, Mickey Flanagan.
Mickey Flanagan, yeah.
No, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, obviously when you'd gone through all this thing and you've got a phase, you got all of that, you still got that part of you that wanted it. So like when we spoke on the phone, you were like, no, take the piss. Like, I need you to take the piss.
Yeah.
Like, that's a weird concept for any other country to get. A cultural thing is, right, we're going to rip each other here. We're going to make each other, like, other people to go, you can't do that. He's nearly died. You're like, nah, that's what he wants. And it's in a...
It's a good point. It's a really big cultural difference.
It's a cultural difference, and it's not something that is around the world.
No.
It's not. Australians have a similar sort of thing.
Yeah.
And maybe, so, but culturally it's carried on through, but other people look at us and go, why? Why would you do that?
I mean,
show care through ripping each other.
Yeah.
Would that make sense?
The positivity in America is off the fucking scale.
Yeah.
When you're like...
The other thing,
they don't need to be.
Who said that? There's someone who said, being in California, everyone has got a spirit animal, haven't they? They've all got
Listen.
What's your spirit animal?
Fucking hell. When it happened to me, all that, and I went on this walk, and this woman's like, hey, I was just looking, and are you in therapy? And I thought, what the fuck?
Wait, tell that story. What's that? Start again.
Where my brother lives.
Yeah.
A place called Palmer Park. Amazing place, man.
Yeah.
In the Sierras, bad. But I seen this woman, and she's like, I don't know how she must be a therapist.
When you seen this woman, what was you out walking the dog?
She was walking, yeah, and she was like, what's happened? She knew something.
She approached you? She
approached me. I'd seen her before this when I used to take my brother's dog,
right,
and my dogs around this trail. So she was asking me, and she was saying that she was a
psychic.
No, well, yes, but that as well. Well, what's
a spiritualist? A spiritualist.
And the dog, the bird that's
raven,
eagle, the fly,
hummingbird.
Hummingbird,
Yeah.
right?
That was a great impression, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Get on the.
Everyone else got that.
Was saying,
they got that way before everyone else. Like, it's a hummingbird.
This woman was saying, well, yeah, because the thing is, what you don't know about, hummingbirds, and you don't see them anywhere, and this woman's spirit animal was a hummingbird.
Wow.
But I was just being me and not being
You're doing this
negative.
in front of her.
No, I wasn't doing that, but I did say to her, they're everywhere here.
Yeah. Oh, are they everywhere?
They're everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, no, you won't. And I was
So
like,
it's
no,
like
honestly,
saying-
I see them probably 3 or 4 every day.
So it's similar to being in Nottingham and going, my spirit is a pigeon.
Exactly that.
Oh, wow. Well, that puts it a different...
Yeah. But then, so she was telling me about all that, and then, which you do, you listen to a fool, is it? You bear a fool.
Yeah.
For a while, but then on the next walk, then she was telling me that then I seen her and there was an eagle or whatever, and she was telling me, oh, this is my spirit animal. And I thought, how many fucking spirit animals?
So she kept changing the spirit animal.
Yeah, as soon as you change your spirit animal.
Yeah, you're not authentic if you change spirit animals.
And it's never a snail around.
No, it's never
yeah. It was a lion.
Yeah.
It's never like, it's a sea urchin. I'm a
centipede.
sea urchin.
Pigeon is a great
How many
one.
are the sea urchin? Do you know what I mean? Oh, my spirit animal's a sea urchin. No, it's not. It's always something. But like you say, that's in a way though. That's a cultural thing as well. Because
it is.
You would not be if you walked through a park, even in London or anywhere like that, and someone came up to you and went, "Hi, do you want to know your spirit?" You'd be like, "Listen, put your tackle away. I'm going." You know what I mean? There's a cultural thing where we take the piss out of each other, but also a cultural thing where we don't interact like that with other people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's where. But I get it that Americans don't get how we are. They think.
Yeah.
They think we're fucking mad.
Well, I think as a cultural thing, in my head, I didn't spend a lot of time traveling. You travel quite a lot. I was like, right, okay, Americans are like us. They just got an accent. That's what I thought. I was like, yeah. And then the more you speak to them, you're like, they know.
What I will say is, in my experience, it's the only place in the world you can go to as a British person and be accepted.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? They're all so
that's a
polite
good
to us.
point. Yeah,
They're all dead nice to you when you're over there.
Well,
I know
nice.
it annoys us because they're over the top with their niceness sometimes, aren't they? It's just like, come on, mate, it's a bit much that is. But you can't go anywhere in Europe and get treated like that. They all absolutely fucking despise us in Europe.
Everyone else, exactly. It's true.
They're all haters.
I think besides Malta and
rightly so.
Yeah.
I'm sat there going, are we going to defend ourselves? I think we could go down a slippery slope there. But I do think, like you say, you've been to Australia. To be fair, if we talk about pre-you anyway, you've been to Australia, you've been to India. tell us a story about India where when you stayed there. I mean, you went there for 3 months.
Oh, mate, yeah. And India was a great place. I'd love to go back there, to be honest, and take the girls. That's another place where your eyes get opened, yeah, because...
Whereabouts in India, Chris?
I went all over, actually. I went to Rajasthan, and I went to Mumbai.
Wow.
Which was Bombay, obviously, back in the day. But and Goa, which was really hippie.
What happened in Goa?
Oh man, crazy. We'll leave that.
What about when you?
Leave that.
Well, what about when you took a ride home? And that's probably the one you can tell when you took a ride home from a club on a
moped.
bike, on a moped.
Yeah. When I hit the.
Yeah, that
Don't tell the punchline.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's a culture. Then is culture is so different there.
Yeah.
I was in a place called Kalangut, I think it was called. But I had just a Vespa type thing. But I came up, and the streets, if there are streets, were so.
Yeah, they're not roads.
No, they're not roads.
Yeah.
No, there's cow, and obviously
gravel,
I hit a cow. The cow was sound, absolutely sound, but I was in ribbons. And obviously I had
So you're driving over in the dark, you've just gone boom, and it's a cow.
and it was a cow. And,
That's a cultural thing, isn't
it was, and even like...
But they are...
Yeah, they're sacred, and and I love animals, always have. I don't do harm to anything like that. But obviously I was like, I still need to sort this Vespa out, because I need to get it sorted. So it was just a crazy time.
Well, you said that a load of farmers came up to you and was going, you thought, they're going to come and look after me, and they just walked over you and then started taking care of the cow.
Yeah. And it's
cow takes priority.
That was
I've not been to India. I've not been to India.
Yeah,
I know that they hold cows in high regard, but I mean, do they just roam the street there?
They're roaming everywhere, and you're on a beach. The beaches in India aren't how you think like, because it's not the Indian Ocean, which you think it will be.
Is it not?
No, it's not. It's the fucking
Atlantic.
the Arabic Sea. Not Arabic Sea. I do know this shit.
Yeah.
The Indian Ocean is obviously Australia, and that side of the ocean is it. Where India is. The sea is not great unless you're on Sri Lanka. That way is okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's called the Gulf. I can't remember now, but so it's not how the postcode you think it is.
Yeah. Well, but it's cows just roaming around on the beach.
On the beach, yeah. And
so they're like free animals. Then they get to roam the land because
they're stray. They're stray. They just
they're really like high up in society.
Yeah, massively. And,
you must just think we're barbarians, and
oh yeah, we're just like slicing them up. That's what I mean. Culturally, it's so when you look at cultures and how things work. And you told me a story when you went away there, and I was probably a little bit like less cultured, and he travelled a lot, and I sort of stayed at home, was an electrician, played the guitar, and juggled. That's what I did when he went away.
Juggled?
Yeah, I learned to juggle.
Hold on, when was that?
Oh, you're so wild.
Crazy.
Do it now.
I've got some stories.
With what you juggled with?
He was in India and I was juggling in my bedroom. I mean, there was some crazy times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he told me a story when he was in India about where he turned up at the airport with no money, didn't you?
When I came back.
When you came back, yeah, absolutely had no money.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And he was waiting for the... I mean, do you want you tell it?
No.
Yeah, but it touched me a little bit in the way that like he told me about it, and I thought... So basically, he was waiting to go on his plane. It was like later on in the day when it was...
Had he already paid for the flights? Or?
Yeah, he's got the flights paid for, but he's got nothing else.
Okay.
Right, so he's waiting around. He's just thinking, I'll get something on the plane. And then these guys came up to you, didn't they? And they said, and invited you back to like a hut, was it? Or
wow, yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. That was in Mumbai. My layover in India was from New Delhi to Mumbai, must have been. It was like, I don't know, 9 hours or something. So I thought, I had a little bit of dough, but nothing major. And so I thought, I will go to, have a walk around. And when you're near the airport and you get walking, it's never nice, is it? Anyway, it's like...
anywhere, yeah.
shanty towns, slums kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's the measure of people, really. They had nothing, and they took me in. But you know, these guys. One of them was a cleaner at the hotel or something. But I had a digital camera, and these people were going crazy for it. Like they'd never seen that shit.
Really?
You know, before we all had phones and
Yeah,
shit. But
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like you had a camera like that, and they gave me, you know, a meal, and they were saying it was on about England players, David Beckham, whatever. And it just,
So you just went and walked to this shanty town in between waiting for your flight and sort of stayed
yeah, I
with
mean,
them?
it was. I met a guy and he came over and he asked me if he could have some water, and I had some water. It was on there's like a fountain there,
Yeah.
and there was obviously tuk-tuks were everywhere,
Yeah.
just everywhere, and you know that's to him, yeah, take it. I've got one.
Weren't
anyway.
you suspect then when someone come up to you
I was
asking
just
you for
about to
water?
say, if you, the differences between me and Chris are,
I'd be thinking they'd be setting me
yeah,
up.
I would be in the airport, right? In the airport,
Yeah.
trying to get £2 into a machine, right? He would just go and go, no, I'm up for that, and then go there. and then,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you, like
Yeah,
your
you said
attitude
it's so
towards
easy.
these things,
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'll go and just sit with these guys. I'd be like
Yeah.
watching my back, like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
guys? What happened? But you were right to do it. They were just genuinely nice guys.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that's it. Sometimes, obviously, there's times in my life when I wouldn't go, and I think, nah, what are these lots up to? But in the moment, and sometimes you're wrong, obviously. But
You're
this
just
time-
such an optimist, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I
yeah.
think your optimistic mindset. I mean, I remember when you told me about the boat trip in South Africa, and you thought, yeah, let's go on a little boat trip. Was it South
Oh,
Africa?
in when I lived on the boat, yeah. This sounds like a lie. This is not a lie, by the way.
I love it, the fact that you think this sounds like a lie, but you just told us about your diet and that.
Yeah, but the best story I've got is the prawn prawn boat.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
who lives on a fucking prawn boat in fucking
Forrest Gump.
in Papua New Guinea? No one.
It's the way
That is a lie.
it's the way you went for the job. Didn't you say that you just saw an advert? You thought you'd be out on a boat just with a fishing rod.
So this
Yeah,
is when
well,
you
I
stayed
just
in
thought-
Australia. You
Yeah.
stayed in. You lived in Australia for a year, didn't you?
No, two and
Two-
a bit.
2 and a bit years,
Yeah,
yeah.
2 and a bit years. And my visa again. The visa, all things always been tricky. Lost my visa expired, and I needed another visa.
Bloody visas.
Yeah. I needed I needed to do some rural work for 3 months, and then I got another year. I sadly did it in Australia then. But I was looking around at all these crappy jobs, and I thought, fuck that, I want something like proper.
Yeah, yeah.
So
An
I got-
adventure.
and this was the biggest adventure ever. I lived on a 65-foot trawling boat.
Wow. The fuck? I did
In,
not know the job he picked.
in Papua New Guinea,
What
on
the
the
fuck?
and it was
Is it ropey around there, Papua New
ropey
Guinea?
as
like on the
fuck.
waters.
pirates, and
Pirates
stuff.
and shit.
everything.
Sharks,
but
weren't they? Sharks?
Listen, I could go. This is an all new podcast we've got going on. That sparks my
Oh, yeah, I know that.
neurons.
Yeah.
Get some fire in.
Listen, I'll give you one on what I can think of the whole time. I was obviously it was on the equator, like as close to the equator as it would ever be. We was fishing for tiger prawns. I knew fuck all about tiger prawns.
I love how you say we were fishing for tiger prawns. My next question was, well, how'd you do that then?
Yeah.
I know fuck all about it.
He said, "Do you get seasick?" I went, "Well, not in Collick, not Westlake." So he went, "Where the fuck's Westlake?" I went, "Well, exactly, there's no tide." So I went anyway, but I knew, you know, I thought I've got
An optimism and
degree of
resilience.
resilience,
Yeah,
yeah, so I
yeah.
thought, but on the third day, and he said, "Oh, Chris, clip yourself." The captain was called Luke, and he said, "Clip yourself into the monster rope," it was called. And I thought, what the fuck?
That's
Where's that?
On a
And
birthday,
why have we
innit?
got it? There's so many things in that moment.
Yeah.
A lot of
anyway.
questions.
Yeah. And then I seen the big swell come in,
Yeah.
and fucking hell,
Was it
fire.
big?
Oh, mate, it was a fucking storm in the sea. In the sea. And my mum at that time was watching Deadliest
Catch.
because we didn't have no fucking internet, obviously, there.
Yeah.
I had a fucking Samsung phone. The one with the...
Was he in that?
which-
Didn't he used to drink as well? It was a bit of a...
Oh, mate, it was the fucking maddest
Who
thing.
used to drink? The captain, Luke.
No, the captain did, but the guy, the first mate, his name was Squid. And I was like...
Get out of here.
Listen, sounds like a lie.
Yeah, you're lying.
When he told me... Do you know when you put...
Glad you didn't tell this story first
When
before
you-
the dying one.
When
When,
you,
like,
put
no way. This
when
guy.
you put some material together, I'll give you the picture so you can...
I see the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is a time in my life...
Squid.
Yeah, I know. And I did say to him, I said, that's too...
was
surely
that
not.
his
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
first name?
No,
or
this
last?
guy was a wizard. He had no teeth. He was like, he couldn't fucking...
He's first mate.
Yeah, he was
You know
good.
what I
Then
love
he
it?
got demoted.
Do you know what I
Then I
love
was like,
it?
I'm first mate now.
Do you know what I love is
I've been to Wesley.
He told me this story, and that was the first thing I said was, right, when he told me, I was like, you must have seen Squid when you was on land. And he went, yeah? And I went, I wouldn't have got on there.
But you're the optimist, aren't you?
No,
He'll
it
be
was
sad. Squid's sad.
trusted
It's
him.
sad.
This was these were the... I signed up for it, so,
Yeah,
you know,
you
I
go
thought,
in.
well, I'm in. And then
Yeah.
they said to me, you fucking pommy can't, you won't be able to... And I was like, I can
What,
do that,
before you
mate.
got in?
No, that's
Oh,
what
no.
he said.
Oh,
Yeah, he
no.
said, you pommy cunts were two, you know, we're sissies or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said to him, mate, we did disc for you, so fuck you. We can do that.
Well,
And
the
then-
thing is, then he went, right, I'm going to tell you what boat you're going on.
yeah, no, but
With
no,
the
he
squid.
was- yeah, no, he was Squid. That was it. But
Oh,
as it-
really?
yeah.
Squid said that to him.
Squid said that to me, and I was like, "You fucking on about me?" I said, "You
He said,
fucking-
you palmy cunt. You don't know how to fucking
yeah."
sail
I
a
was
ship.
like, "You've got no fucking teeth, mate." So,
So
what are you on
Squid,
about?
basically.
Right, so basically, you decided to go with Squid and get on the boat. Right.
Yeah,
This is a fucking wicked story.
Did you know how long you were going to be on the boat for before you got on it?
well, at the start, no, because
I think we start to see your thought process now. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm a
In at the
I'm
deep
a
end,
gambler,
straight
no,
in.
no doubt about that. But I thought I didn't know. I didn't fuck all about fishing. Let's be honest, I didn't. But I thought
Squid
I
did.
like the sea. I could swim. What else do you?
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
not from a boat that's miles away.
Well,
That's
it turned out
optimistic.
that the guy on the boat couldn't swing for shit. So I thought, well, I'm one up from him.
He can climb the
And
ladder in this
his
corporation.
name's fucking Squid. My name's Chris, and I can swim and read. At that point, I could.
So you had one that you thought it's either me or Squid, and Squid's getting it. So.
Yeah, fuck Squid. Fuck Squid.
I'm stomping all over Squid to get to
Obviously,
the top.
we had tri nets, so we used to put the nets in to see where the prawns were when we was going through the Torres. It's called the Torres Straits, the bit of water between Australia and Papua New Guinea, and that's where was good fishing.
Good prawn.
Good prawn, man. And and there was a lot of mad shit going on then. And one of the things that I remember vividly, the captain Luke, who was a sound enough guy, better than Squid. We was doing the prawns, and you'd measure them with like U10s were the biggest, going down, and you'd put them in the freezer and in the hold, and then a mothership would come and take the prawns every 2 weeks, so you didn't have to. You was just on
Constantly at sea.
yeah, for 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. So that's like a quarter of a year
Yeah, I know, yeah.
in fucking.
On the
And I was
sea,
like,
with Squid.
with Squid, yeah, chock up in Squid. You're like, oh my god, it was a tricky 3 months. But you had when there was a full moon,
Yeah.
and each day before and after the full moon, the prawns would hide because it was like a light bulb.
The
so,
light coming on,
Yeah,
yeah.
the light would, so prawns disappear. So that's when we had
time
3
on.
days a month off.
Wow.
So there was a guy from Samoa who was the only sound guy that I met when I was there, and he said to me, you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to, there was a load of islands, you know, it was about a 200 meter swim. And he said, are you up for it? These are inhabitable islands. So, and I said, thinking, fuck, every day I'm there and I'm see these tiger sharks, the fucking 16, 20 footers.
So you'd see them in the, when you was on
There
the boat?
in the day, yeah, the day. Sorry, in the night.
But tiger shark's dangerous.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah, they're up there with a great white and a tiger
Yeah,
shark,
they
the
sound
two
like it,
most
but
yeah, they're-
volatile shark breeds.
I did not know that. Tiger shark.
Bull sharks are the worst.
Bull, tiger, and great white. Are the
So
Yeah,
they're
they're
basically
the free killers.
Yeah, they're up there with not being great. Yeah,
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're
and you
not.
could see them from the boat in the sea.
Yeah. You can see them. You know, because you're on a trawler, so
They're going near
the fishing, the big fish are eating
you're
the
chumming,
fish.
aren't you?
So,
You're
yeah,
chumming,
exactly
basically,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So you're really making them gravitize towards.
Yeah, you're
the
baiting
boat.
them, aren't you?
yeah,
basically?
exactly. And you know that's why there's some you know people do get bit by sharks for sure, but there's millions of sharks around, and they're not all getting bitten
Yeah.
because they've got enough to eat.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
But they don't necessarily. Well, I don't know whether this is a true fact, if I'm honest. But I heard that they don't necessarily like human flesh.
No, they don't. No.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you look like a seal, and
They
like
mistake
seals.
you,
yeah,
yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Like
It's generally
a seal.
not. They don't like an animal that searches out. I know that there's been things that they do search out human, but they really don't. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not an animal that searches out
No,
humans.
well, like
we
a
ruin them.
crocodile would
basically.
eat you for
yeah.
sure for
Yeah.
a death roll or whatever.
Yeah,
They would
yeah,
kill you. But
yeah.
a shark. It's only now we've all got drones that we're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, a shark. But they've always been here.
Yeah.
But now we've got drones. We're like, shit.
But I mean, saying that as well, though. So he said, "Do you want to go for a swim?" And you said,
Well, I weighed it all.
"What
did you weigh?
What did you weigh up?
Yeah.
Well, I thought, how far is it from here to there?
First things first.
Yeah, and then I thought I do want to do that because I would kick myself. Basically, I just wanted to not be with a load of fishermen for a night.
Squid.
Yeah, squid.
That's how bad
And,
squid was.
This Samoan guy was cool, and he had some beers, and we had like a bag
Oh, there you go. You're in.
that we tied together. Yeah.
As soon as he said beers,
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
And we took the stuff we needed in a bag that was watertight. So and he gave me the snorkel. We both had a snorkel each, but I was like, mate, I'm not going to bother with the snorkeling until I'm. Because I said I don't want to see what's about to eat me.
I see what you're
So
saying,
I
yeah.
thought I'll wait. And
I
then,
didn't think about that.
yeah, because it's deep. Because there was
yeah.
the deep gauge
my worst fear.
on the boat is fucking, I don't know, 40, maybe 45 meters down. That's
So wait
deep.
a minute. So you decided to go get your beers, tie them up, fuck it, let's go for a swim. Did you think, right, what's the percentage here of me being eaten? Because at that point, I'm like, I might die if I do this, so do I want to do it? Like,
Yeah,
what
I mean,
was you thinking?
Yeah, I obviously went through my head like
I'd
not.
have just been top and tailing with squid.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to.
So I thought I'd risk my life.
Well, yeah, but
And,
I mean, are you?
how long was the swim? How long did it take?
About 200 meters, maybe 150 meters.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean.
So what's that in
That's a
time? What's
That's
that
a
in time?
panicky 150.
And yeah, it's a long swim.
What,
Oh,
hour?
in
No, not an hour.
Half an hour?
No, it's
20 minutes?
You know, was breaststroking it. 10 minute.
Right, okay.
10 minute.
So, yeah, 150 metres, that's like a tenth of a mile, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
Also, as well,
not-
though, the sea's a different scenario to a pool. Like, there's a lot of other options there. that
Yeah,
can happen.
exactly.
There's a lot of tidal stuff.
Yeah. But you
Like-
know, you see anyone on a boat in Australia or America, wherever, every fucker's jumping in and messing
Yeah,
up because in England we've got this stigma that you think
yeah.
we're going to get at.
Culture.
We're going to get at.
Oh, the
When
Jaws
the-
film.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
that. I really need a piss that I'm going to piss.
Yes.
in
Yeah,
my
Right, right.
same.
To be fair, it's we're going to run out of recording time
Oh, okay.
as well.
Yeah,
so
cool. Yeah, I think we.
I think
we did
we've
well.
had a. I think that's great, and I think we've left it where it's almost
could
like
be more.
We
We
could
could
be
part
more.
two. Lead
I
on.
think.
We
I
could
think.
lead on. Part two.
I think that this was. People will watch that. I think we want more.